I'm Hugh, and I'm a musician. And
I'm Phil, and I'm the Crabman. That's because I don't like walking from A to B. I like to scuttle off sideways down back alleys and side streets.
And I'm Uncle Tacko, and I'm a performer, generally at the seasides. Thank you.
a journey, a circuit around the bay, a rock walk discovery of 7 days, starting at the Valley of Rose and on into Torquay, Lidington by the coast and then Brixham, and back across the sea, and back across the sea, and back across the round.
Tell you what, mate, come here.
Yeah.
Here's your medal.
Oh, it's my medal. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad I met you.
I've always been interested in geology, always, since I was tiny.
Is there anywhere in this area that particularly excites you as a kind of geological site?
I think it's just little things like the red sandstones down along the seawall, sort of like knowing that that's desert deposits from when the UK was positioned on the equator, and it's just really weird to think we were positioned so far away from where we are now. And there's loads of areas around here where there's been no deposition, no erosion, and it's just like nobody knows what happened. And there's in some areas there's millions of years of time that have just completely disappeared. We definitely need to get Tall Bay geology out there because it's very important.
Please put on your rose-tinted spectacles. This view, or something like it, is very, very familiar to me. I would have been chugging out where that little boat is now with my pop, my grandfather, for a day of mackerel fishing. I can even remember the rust-coloured jumper that I was wearing. We used to tell my sister, who was not taken on this holiday, that I had gone off training with the Territorial Army. And I did once attempt to walk up and down this bit of the coast, re-finding my memories. And the reality was that I could find absolutely nothing at all. What I had were memories that I constructed, or they were atmospheres, but the actual places, returning to those actual places, didn't bring back anything at all. It's very easy to look at that as a single piece of stone. There seems to be some coherence of colour, some coherence of contour. That piece of stone is full of all sorts of different violences, different age periods, different overlayings. It's been bent. And that's my kind of feeling about nostalgia in the end, is that one can construct something very coherent until one actually goes and looks at the thing itself. And then one finds that really there are great holes, there are great wrenches, there are great faults. And so when I look at that bit of that bit of sandstone, I kind of look at my own memory.
This area in Torbay, the Geopark, is so important that it's one of only 47 in the whole world. That's amazing, isn't it? But what we want to do is find out about the rocks and the stones and the sand and the landscape that you love.
Berryhead, a good place to go. And when you went to Berryhead, what did you like about being up there?
Well, nice view all around. So much to remember in there.
When you were younger, did you go swimming?
Yes, yeah.
I still go swimming as much as I can.
When we first came here, this pool was empty. And all through the winter, the waves have been beating on the side of the pool. There was no water in it. And because of that, it didn't have the force. It didn't have the force to repel those waves. And all that wall on that side was all cracked. He's going to subject that tune to the rhythm of the waves that beat against that pool and send their shockwaves through the water. We're going to walk around to the other side and see how that might have affected our theme tune.
Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. If you use because you can go wrong, this is the basic rock song. 3 different kinds of rock. Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. If you use because you can go wrong, this is the basic rock song. This is a basic rock song.
Hey, I think I pulled.
370 million years ago, the sea creatures died, and their bones and shells sank to the bottom of the sea. Piles and piles, years and years. Gradually, they turned to stone, bones into limestone. And then as the earth buckled and shifted, they were lifted up high to make mountains and cliffs. And with the guillemots and the kittiwakes, we live with them here. Bones of the
Man has occupied the top of Bury Head since Neolithic man. We have Neolithic flints here, and we have found all kinds of other bits and pieces.
bones of the time of Bony Bonaparte.
If you want to run a geography lesson here with a school, it's great. You've got natural arches, you've got caves, you've got stacks, which are the actual islands. But on the ecology side of things, there are over 1,000 birds on that particular cliff. These little birds, guillemots, would you believe it, can dive underwater and swim underwater down to 200 feet, 60 odd metres. The top half of the cliff is very much more sheerer, therefore you've got flat faces. Further down, the geology is in faulting and steppings, and that's exactly where those particular birds actually breed. So they actually have this one egg on these little ledges. So the Bury Head colony is crucially important because, would you believe, it's the southernmost extreme of these particular birds for breeding. You talk about global warming, it will actually flag up very quickly here.
Bones and shells of guillemots, bones of a vicar.
If we didn't have the geology, we wouldn't have the birds.
Bones in the Cold War bunker, bones that abide with me.
We hollow the mountains and we cap the mines. We manage the rivers and we expand the cities. We melt the ice caps and we prepare for a 6th mass extinction. We move minerals around our trade routes and fill our missiles with depleted uranium. Like subduction and erosion, we are now a geological force.
A journey, a circuit around the bay, a rock walk discovery over 7 days. A journey, a circuit around the bay, a rock walk discovery over 7 days. Starting at the Valley of Rocks and on into Torquay. Painted by the coast and then Brixham and back across the sea.